Dobar dan, počituvani naši. Sledite programata Vo Focus so Silvana Pavlovska. Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to Silvana Pavlovska and the program In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska. Today is Tuesday, 26th of March, 2024. We are going to continue with our series, which we've dedicated to the Prespa Agreement as a cultural genocide of the Macedonian national identity, a publication by Professor Igor Yanev. And we are on chapter 4, this is the third recording today. So there is a sequence, part 1, part 2, and this is part 3. We shall continue from here onward with the following. Next, in the list of domestic violation known to the Greeks too, in the step-by-step process regarding the Prespa agreement is almost self-explanatory, says the professor. A referendum, namely referendum on the state's name change, was unsuccessful. In any civilized country, that fact alone would entail executive decision to stop further process of constitutional changes, if only a prime minister or somewhere president had a minimum human dignity, says the professor. But that was not the case in Macedonia. More than 1 million people boycotted the referendum that required a turnout of 50% to pass of the total number of voters that turned out. More than 1 million people boycotted the referendum that required a turnout of 50% to pass the total number of voters that is the turned out. And that was not the case, since the turnout was less than 37% of the registered voters. In addition, we noted that the Prime Minister wanted to manipulate and mislead the people's will by hand-tailored and unclear referendum question, mixing the three into one question to obtain large number of supporters, voters for the EU, higher economic standard, wealth and prosperity. So the referendum question, that is the illegal according to the Macedonian standards and contrary to the Venice Commission standards on referendum, was, and we quote, "Are you for membership in the EU and NATO by accepting the agreement between the Republic of Macedonia and the Hellenic Republic?" End of quote. Apparently, a decision on a referendum and the question did not specify the full name of the agreement between the Republic of Macedonia that would be changed and the Hellenic Republic, that it's unclearly notes the agreement between the Republic of Macedonia and the Hellenic Republic, and placed two by nature non-referendum questions such as membership in the international organizations, EU and NATO, that could be dealt by parliamentary approval or decision, combined with constitutionally relevant question of the change of the national name, that is the ID of the country. The Prime Minister Zaev wanted to mislead the ethnic Macedonians, or portion of them, who understood that the state's name will have to be changed, or to face them with the dilemma, either better, higher economic EU standard and wealth, or change of the state's name, end of quote. For Zaev and the international community, the choice had to be an easy one for citizens, taking into consideration extremely low level of living standard of Macedonian people in Macedonia. Still, unexpectedly, the turnout was less than the required 50% of the total number of voters, and the referendum was unsuccessful. The referendum held on the 30th of September 2018 ended unsuccessfully, that is, without any decision by the people. Out of a total of 1,860,336 citizens registered in the voters list, only 666,743 citizens voted. That is 36.91% of the total number of registered citizens in the voters list. The number of unused ballots was 1,139,593. The referendum question was voted yes by 91.46%, or 609,000 813 citizens, while 5.65% or 37,700 citizens voted against it. As many as 19,221 ballots were invalid, that is 2.89%. The decision was not adopted because the condition for a successful referendum set out in the Constitution was not met. More than half of the total number of citizens registered in the voters' list did not vote. That was, in fact, a major disaster for Zaev's administration and policy vis-a-vis European Union. All right, so we now have we'll be ending this portion of the recording today, and we will continue another day with the next part of chapter 4. You've been listening to Silvana Pavlovska and In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska, today being Tuesday, the 26th of March, 2024, and this is part 3. So if you're listening to any of the videos that relate to today's date, please note they are in a sequence order, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.